agenda here. All right. Good evening and welcome to the November 18th, 2025 Findlay City Council meeting. Regular session. We'll call the meeting to order, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence.
Mr. Ballman?
Here.
Mr. DeArmond?
Here.
Ms. Frischi?
Here.
Mr. Hellman?
Here.
Sorry, Mr. Greeno?
Here.
Mr. Niemeyer?
Here.
Mr. Palmer?
Here.
Mr. Russell?
Here.
Ms. Warnicki?
Here.
And Mr. Wobser?
Present.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I will entertain a motion to accept the previous public hearing minutes or city council minutes. Mr. Russell. So moved. Second, Mr. DeArmond. Discussion. Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. They are accepted. Mr. Russell, do we have any add-ons, replacements, or removals from tonight's agenda?
We do, but one point of clarification. So we did not approve the city council minutes. You're going to wait for the correct. We just did the public hearing minutes.
Okay.
I'm confirming because I thought I only heard you say public hearing.
No, I said both. But so
Okay, then
will you? Yeah.
I would like to change my motion.
Gotcha. Go
I would
ahead.
like to defer consideration of the November 5th regular session of City Council meeting minutes to the December 2nd meeting because they were distributed within the last, I think, hour and a half. Considering they're 20 pages, I didn't think anybody would have much of a chance to review them. So that would be a motion to defer consideration on the
Gotcha.
meeting minutes.
Second, Mr. Wobser. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. That is how we're going to do it. All right, back to add-on replacements or removals.
We do. We have a replacement for ordinance 2025-134, the loitering ordinance, and we have an add-on email communication from Silver Vieira concerning the loitering ordinance. I would ask that the one be replaced and the email be added to written communications.
Mr. Palmer, second. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Those changes will be made. We have no proclamations, recognitions, or retirement resolutions. We have no petitions, public communications.
An email from Tamara Hatch regarding loitering legislation. You want me to just do them all, or? An email from Deborah and Colin Pregbon regarding support proposed no loitering ordinance. And an email from Jill Wagner regarding loitering ordinance, and the add-on email from Silver Vera.
Questions or comments? Letters to be filed. At this time, before we move on to, I'd like to bring up Scott Sands. Where's Scott? Scott is here on behalf of the Auditor of State's office, and he has an award to give us.
I do, and I will not take the full 4 minutes. It feels like there's a lot to discuss today. But I do want to point out that of the 6,000 entities that the Auditor of State's office reviews, 4,200 of those every year, less than 4% of those government agencies are able to receive the Auditor of State Award with distinction. So it's my pleasure today, on behalf of Auditor of State Keith Faber, to present the Auditor of State Award with distinction to Auditor Jim Stasiak. And congratulations to your fiscal team, council, the mayor, everyone involved in the process.
You need a picture.
Somebody take a picture.
I need a stool next time I bring
Thank you, Mr. Sands. Utility contractor communications.
A letter from Leo Brown Development LLC of Leo Brown Group, Thomas Smith, regarding Findlay AAL. It is a proposed development consisting of a 124-unit, 3-story elevator-equipped building to be located at 8455 County Road 140 to offer assisted living services, including meals, housekeeping, and personal care services.
Questions or comments? Letter to be filed. Let's see where I'm at. Reports of municipal officers and departments.
City Income Tax Monthly Collections Report for October 2025.
Questions or comments? Report to be filed.
Findlay Fire Department Activities Report for October 2025.
Report to be filed.
Findlay Police Department Activities Report for October 2025.
Report to be filed.
City Planning Commission Agenda of November 13th, 2025, as well as the staff report of November 13th, 2025, and the minutes of October 9th, 2025.
Agenda, report, and minutes to be filed.
Board of Zoning Appeals minutes of October 9th, 2025.
Minutes to be filed.
Letter from Mayor Mern regarding Hometown Hero Banner Program.
Letter to be filed.
Letter from Fire Chief Eberly regarding fiscal year 25 Assistance to Firefighters Grant.
Letter to be filed.
Summary financial reports for October 31st, 2025.
Letter to be filed.
Officer Shareholders Disclosure Form from the Ohio Department of Commerce Division of Liquor Control for Beer Barrel Incorporated, located at 900 Interstate Drive, for a stock liquor permit. Check of the records show no criminal record for those who applied.
Mr. Palmer.
Move that no objection be filed.
Second, Mr. Baumann. Discussion. All those in favor that no objection be filed, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. We will not file an objection.
A letter from City Engineer Kalb regarding Han Bright Road and Fostoria Avenue Multi-Use Path 2025 TAP application.
Letter to be filed.
I have a question.
Oh, Ms. Frischie.
So this, we haven't started the Melrose project yet, but this seems, Jeremy, is this a lot larger of a project than Melrose? Since we're going down Bright Road, I'm assuming up 12 to 236?
Yeah, it's about 10,000 linear feet.
So what are we talking since it's an 80-20?
So from from what the estimate we have right now, it's not finalized, but from the draft, our match would be about 175, say to 175 to 200 for the match for the 80-20. Project right now is coming in about the 850. There's still some dirt work we got to add in there, so say it gets up to the 900, but our match for this is probably going to be 175 range.
And this is like the exact same thing on Melrose, where it's a walking path, it's not a bike path, right?
Well, it would be, the goal of it is to be 10 foot wide, so we call it a multi-use path, because if you call it a bike path, it kicks in a whole bunch of other specs we have to follow, so it's a multi-use path where any type of unmotorized vehicle can use that, runners, walkers, rollerblades, stuff like that.
Letter to be filed.
A letter from Fire Chief Eberly regarding Findlay Hancock County Community Foundation Grant.
Mr. Russell.
Question to Mr. Martin. This kind of really caught me by surprise to see it. This is what I was taken aback. This and the next letter with from Tractor Supply. Can you just add a little bit onto this and let folks know what this is about?
Somebody went out the doors.
Earlier this month, we celebrated National First Responders Day, and the Community Foundation wanted to recognize the first responders in our community and what they do every day, the selfless sacrifice that they do responding to emergencies. And so they awarded $5,000 to the fire department for us to make an internal decision on some type of token of gratitude, a small token of gratitude to be divided up amongst the firefighters. So they're in the process of coming up with what that looks like, if it's logoed Yetis, or there are a couple other ideas that were tossed around. So that was what the first one was. So the generosity through the presidential discretionary grant through the Community Foundation. And that's also, the police department's also receiving that, as well as Hanco EMS. And again, recognition of the first responders day. The second was a hometown hero event that Tractor Supply actually had out at their building, and they actually raised $500. And talking to them when they went to present it to the fire chief, they said they hear the strict center and all the training that's going on, and so they wanted that to go towards discretionary miscellaneous things that might benefit the strict center for training props and whatnot. So that goes along with the second one. So
Okay, other questions? Letter to be filed.
Letter from Fire Chief Eberly regarding Tractor Supply Company donation.
Letter to be filed.
Letter from Mayor Mern regarding loitering ordinance number 2025-134 update.
Letter to be filed.
A letter from Service Safety Director Martin regarding annual Community Park Improvement Program grant.
Letter to be filed.
Letter from City Engineer Calb regarding Spring Lake Sanitary Upgrade Phase 2, project number 356-11600.
Mr. Russell.
Jeremy, will this finish off this project and get this thing into a place where it can be assumed by the city and in good working order?
Yeah, so the funds that I'm appropriating is we kind of looked at what our final bill is going to look like. So we're looking ahead so it might be a little heavy on that, but that's going to include the additional paving that we have through there. Really, the only thing we have left is to pull the main outlet from the pump stations over to Main Street. So they're going to be doing that here next week or after Thanksgiving. That will be the last step, but we have sent letters out to all the residents to let them know that, hey, on your next billing, you're going to be seeing it as part of the EPA and kind of explaining them so that way they know on their next utility bill they're going to be seeing the sewer charge, because we have all the main line in. The only thing we have left is the outlet. But it is outletting to us, so we feel as the system right now, it's to a point where it's pretty well substantially complete. We just got the main outlet to pull. They're finishing paving this week, but I mean we're pretty much at the last stretch right now.
Ms. Frishy.
Jeremy, so the sewer charge is going to be retro, or the EPA is still picking up everything retro? There's going to get a current.
So the homeowners are starting from right now on that, and then we're working with the EPA on the final payments once we get through construction, once we get all our costs. That way it's tough for them to find small little grants. It's easier for them to find one big one. So I've been working with the central office on that. They understand, so that's why we're putting the money up front, because the contractors shouldn't suffer for us to be working back and how their grants work. But yeah, they still plan on working with us on the financial of what we have lost or what we have occurred in the past couple of years.
So that leads to my second question. Back in, I'm going to shoot May, June timeframe, you asked for additional funding for Spring Lake, even though the EPA didn't have the money and they were waiting for their next budget season. Did you ever get a contract and get anything in writing? Or are we still doing, hey, we got a phone call and they're going to reimburse us?
So that's what I was just kind of talking about. That I was talking with them, instead of doing small
appropriate.
inputs, but they are. We got into construction. We seen how much we knew the extras. We talked to them about the extras. So we explained to them and we worked with them. Say, hey, let's get through construction, because we don't know what the soil conditions are going to look like through there. We don't want to say, hey, we only need another 150,000. Then we find out we need 300. So that's why we're working until the end. We're this far to the end. We're still working with them. No, we're not going to do a contract. I don't have a contract with them, but they have been hand in hand with us through this whole process. So I don't foresee them going back. And people I'm talking with is in central office, who the people I need to be talking to for these grant funds.
Mr. Russell.
I know that you had previously said that you needed this by our next meeting, but if this is moved forward tonight, does it keep our contract, the folks doing the work, A, working, and B, getting paid?
Yes, it does.
Thank you.
Ms. Frishy.
So they're applying for funding, so they didn't guarantee us funding. They think it'll be easier. What's our total dollar amount that we need to get reimbursed since May, June? If we add this 175 into ballpark it.
So just from the construction side, we have 375 into the project. I can't tell you off the top of my head what the full amount is, but they're not applying for the grant. They run through their own grant through H2 Ohio, but it's how we have to have our construction project done so we know what the amounts are finalized, so that way they can be granting those grants.
So this will get all of their paving done, because I had somebody reach out today to me from Spring Lake, and they said they got a letter from you, from the city. Maybe it's the same letter, but it also referenced that we're going to do repaving over the next 2 years to get their streets
Over the
back.
next couple of years, yeah, we got to do some full resurfacing on that. I can't use Ohio EPA grant funds to resurface our roadways. We could only use that to fix what the sanitary project destroyed. It'd be nice if I go down through there and fix curbs and all that, but one of these times the EPA is going to kick back and say, no, that's not what this project's for. So what that letter is stating, because we know the conditions of the roadway are, we rolled some of the edges of the asphalt just because of the nature of what the project was. Those areas are going to need to be resurfaced. To take it all over in 1 year is a very large project to do. So we're going to go at it for the next couple years, so that way, once said and done, the sanitary is good down through there. We can make sure the water's good down through there, that once we resurface, that whole subdivision is done.
So we're looking at a million, couple million in paving. What are
I mean, I wouldn't say that, but I mean, I don't want to use, if we have $2 million of resurfacing, I can't just use it all in one subdivision. I mean, I have to look at all areas across the city. So that's why I'm saying it's going to be a multi-year project. We understand the problem that is out there, and we're addressing it.
So all the mounds of dirt and everything are going to be out of there, and with this 175 in people's front yards.
Yeah, this will be the complete project. Now, we're coming into winter, so we're probably going to be back in the spring to be touching up some of this stuff, but we're going to get pavements back. But seating, we're getting to a point where they're probably going to have to come back in the spring to fix some seating.
Okay. Letter be filed.
Treasurer's reconciliation report for October 2025.
Report to be filed.
Letter from Service Safety Director Martin regarding City of Findlay's electric aggregation program.
Letter be filed.
Letter from Hancock Regional Planning Commission Director Cordonier regarding zoning code updates for farm animal ordinance.
Letter be filed.
Letter from Hancock Regional Planning Commission Grant Administrator Paninsky regarding planning year or program year 26 ODOT Brownfield program.
Ms. Frischie.
Not ODOT, I'm sorry, it's Ohio Department of Development.
Ms. Frischie.
Yeah, so what exactly are we applying for? I'm assuming this is for the park area, the 19 acres is that what this is that the county's doing, or what is this area?
Mayor.
No, this is separate. So actually, you're jumping ahead a little bit, but the county has already started and contracted for the phase 2 benching brownfield work to be done, and they're actually going to be starting December 1st. So these are other projects, and this is just for us to be able to receive the funds, and then we're going to work to identify a couple of other projects. Matt, I don't know where you're at. If he's probably up in his office still. But I think we are still working on to identify the specific projects, but this allows us to draw down the $1 million.
So give me an idea. I mean, there's got to be, so if it's not the 19 acres of the downtown park, where are we looking at applying for brownfield remediation?
There could be a variety. In the past, we've opened it up for property owners that have said they are interested. I think there is a couple of abandoned gas stations that we're hoping to be able to work with, as well as the Blanchard Street curve there. We're in contact with those property owners and trying to get one of the properties that we still need sign off from. And there's one other location, but they're existing parcels throughout the city.
Mr. DeArmond.
I had a conversation with Matt, and he told me Trenton Avenue gas station across from Wendy's, Lincoln School asbestos, and Blanchard/Crystal.
Letter be filed. Committee reports.
A committee of the whole meeting was held on Wednesday, November 12th, 2025, to discuss ordinance number 2025-134 regarding loitering. Discussion on ordinance, no public comments. Proposed legislation attached. Section 1, purpose. Section 2, definitions. Section 3, prohibited conduct. Section 4, law enforcement procedures. Section 5, penalty. And Section 6, is it severability? Law Director Fagner added, language clears up ordinance. Tool for law enforcement officers recommended deleting parks in Section 2, Paragraph 2, discussion on procedure going forward towards amend or new legislation.
Mr. Russell.
Move for adoption of the committee report.
Second, Mr. Palmer. Discussion. All those in favor of the committee report say aye. Any opposed, nay. The
Nay.
committee report is adopted.
Sorry, making a note here. Planning and Zoning Committee, to whom was referred a request from Rossi Enterprises LLC to rezone 300 West Front Street from R3 Small Lot Residential to Downtown Commercial C3. We recommend approval of proposed zoning to C3.
Mr. DeArmond.
Make a motion to approve the committee report.
Second, Mr. Palmer. Discussion. All those in favor of the committee report say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. The committee report is adopted.
Planning and Zoning Committee, to whom was referred a request to continue discussions on farm animals. We recommend adoption of the farm animals ordinance.
Mr. DeArmond.
Make a motion to accept the committee report.
Second, Mr. Russell. Discussion. Ms. Frishy.
I saw part of the committee meeting. I just need clarification because it looked like there was a lot of public input, but then when it came back, you guys didn't make any changes, or did you make any changes to what was originally being proposed that we have out there?
Mr. Russell.
There was a handful of changes that were made. Number one, the requirement that folks submit evidence of their current farm animal usage in order to be grandfathered. That whole section was removed. There was some clarification concerning the definition of domesticated animals, so that it would include. There was an example at the public forum about domesticated pig, and so the rules were changed to ensure that domesticated animals, be them dogs, cats, pigs, whatever, would not be part of this, would not be under jurisdiction of this ordinance. I think those were the two major ones. I'm looking at Rob Feiner. If you remember off the top of your head anything else we changed.
I was just reviewing Matt Cordonier's letter that's in the packet, and your report. I think that's it, everything, unless Matt's got a few to catch here.
So, Matt, introduce yourself. There's a lot of people in here who have no idea who you are.
Matt, excuse me, Matt Cordonier, Director of Regional Planning. Grant is correct. We removed the stipulation for the grandfathering about the animals, and we added a definition for domestic pets.
So we specifically named pigs? Or
A definition of what a family pet would be. We used the state Ohio Revised Code.
Okay. Oh, Mr. DeArmond.
There was also some clarification on grandfathering. It stayed with the property and doesn't travel with the person.
Correct. There were questions about grandfathering, whether it would travel with the person.
2 pages to it. Should have been.
It is.
He's too tall.
There was a question if the grandfathering would travel with the person. We looked at different court cases, and the grandfathering does not travel with the person. One of the examples is if you had a car detail or car repair shop and it was grandfathered in, you don't get to move around town and reestablish that use at different places. Another question was, let's say I had 20 stables in a barn, but I had 5 horses at the time of the passing of the farm animal ordinance. Court cases show that grandfathering protects the use at the time of the law being passed, not the potential use. So there were a lot of questions that we researched, and those were the 2 main changes.
so
Ms. Frishy.
So clarification here, if somebody moves, they can't take their pet pig, or the pet pig can come because it's not a farm animal.
Pets can travel, yes. You can take your dog or
Okay, but you can't take what? So a horse can't go with you
correct.
unless there's a barn there.
Unless it meets, if you're within the city of Findlay, if it meets the proposed ordinance.
Thank you. All those in favor of the committee report say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay?
Nay.
It is adopted. Okay, we're going to start legislation. We're going to start with resolutions.
Second reading for Resolution 28, 2025, a resolution amending Community Reinvestment Area Number 1 as enacted pursuant to Resolution 33-1987 and as previously amended by Resolution 37-1988 and Resolution Number 47-2013. First reading for Resolution 29, 2025, a resolution authorizing the mayor, service safety director, and/or city engineer of the city of Findlay, Ohio, to file an application for the Brownfield Remediation Program, Program Year 2026, grant funds, and if awarded, to sign the necessary grant agreements with the Ohio Department of Development and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Russell.
As this is a request to apply for grant funding, that is something we've traditionally moved along. Therefore, I make a motion that Resolution 029-2025, or that council statutory rules be suspended and Resolution 029-2025 be given its second and third reading.
Second, Ms. Warnicki. All those in favor of suspension of the rules say aye. If your name is called, those opposed, nay.
Mr. Ballman?
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
Ms. Frischie?
Aye.
Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
Mr. Niemeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
And Mr. Wobser?
Aye.
Rules of council have been suspended, and the clerk will give this resolution its second and third reading.
Resolution 29, 2025. Resolution 29, 2025.
Mr. DeArmond.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution number 029-2025.
Second, Mr. Wobser. Discussion. All those in favor of the resolution say aye. If your name is called, those opposed, nay.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
Ms. Frischie?
Aye.
Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
Mr. Niemeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
Mr. Wobser?
Aye.
Mr. Ballman?
Aye.
Resolution is adopted.
Third reading for, ordinances. Yeah, sorry.
Okay, ordinances.
Third reading for ordinance number 2025-134 with amended attachment. An ordinance enacting regulations on unlawful congregation.
Mr. Palmer.
Is there public communication?
I was going to wait for a motion and a... Okay, we can do that now. And all talk about it all at the same time, because I'm sure everybody has something to say. With that, we're going to start with Catherine Bossman. Catherine's application to speak came via the mail, and she would like to speak about the ordinance. Hang on, Catherine, I got to get my timer going here.
I'll talk fast. Yes.
All right, hit it.
Well, thank you, Council President, Mayor Murin, and council members for allowing me to speak this evening. I want to speak on the proposed ordinance 2025-134, the update, and my second comments, I would like to be about the comments made about city mission at last council meeting, just for clarification. I appreciate the revised ordinance, and it's much clearer. I'm going to have to lift this up, I can't see. And that it defines the word obstruct to mean blocking, hindering, or impeding the free passage of pedestrians or vehicles. This clarity is helpful. However, I remain concerned that the language still leaves great deal to be interpreted. The word hinder does not necessarily imply physically blocking someone. A person can feel hindered simply by being uncomfortable. Yet discomfort alone should not be considered obstruction. If the ordinance clearly limited enforcement to physical blocking or physical interference with movement rather than discomfort, it could avoid becoming a targeting ordinance. It is entirely reasonable for police to ask someone to move on if they are physically preventing others from freely passing. Our rights should not physically impede other persons' rights. But if enforcement becomes based on whether someone's presence makes others uncomfortable, that is not obstruction, and it cannot be the basis for police intervention. The idea that a business might lose revenue because they or potential customers does not like or feel comfortable with certain people being nearby cannot outweigh another person's right to simply exist in a public space. My right to earn money does not supersede someone's right to exist. At the last meeting, several explicit examples were shared, and the reality is that each of those examples involved actual violations of the law. In my experience, Findlay police have always responded quickly and appropriately when called. As a community, our responsibility is to be part of the solution. If people are breaking the law, call the police, not social media. Install cameras at the entrances of your businesses. Document behavior. Be willing to turn over video. That is how we work together, and that is how we assist the police to do their jobs. As many have acknowledged, homelessness, addiction, and mental illness are contributing factors to some of the problems we are seeing. But it is not illegal to be homeless, to struggle with mental illness, or even to be under the influence. What is illegal are certain behaviors and actions. And when those take place, the justice system has tools available. Courts can mandate treatment or evaluations when someone's illegal behavior intersects with addiction or mental health. This is another reason to report illegal activity. This isn't the entire solution, but it can be part of the solution. And this brings me to the comments that were made at City Council regarding the issues with city missions policies or enabling behaviors and subsequent comments suggesting that many of those folks come from City Mission. City Mission did not create homelessness. Yet for more than 90 years, we have been the only crisis homeless shelter in Hancock County. In just the past 30 days, we have provided 3,800 nights of lodging to men, women, and children, 18,000 meals, and provided over 1,100 transports to work and medical appointments. Our services have expanded because the need has expanded. Hope House, the head of the Hancock County Continuum of Care, has stated that homelessness has increased 94% in 2018 here in Hancock County. We serve because the need exists, not because we created a need. I want to publicly thank Mayor Murin and the members of council who have reached out recently to support City Mission and what we are trying to do in the community. In fact, when City Mission sees a crime, we call the police and we provide video. We cooperate fully and consistently to hold those breaking the law accountable.
Palmer?
Move to extend her time to finish her
Second,
comments.
Mr. Greeno. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed, nay. Go ahead, finish your remarks.
Thank you very much. Are there issues that still need to be addressed? Absolutely. And the City Mission is actively engaged in those hard conversations. Solutions are being discussed every day by collaborative community partners, by the city, by coalitions, and by associations, which everybody is welcome to join. Creating a dedicated daytime space for individuals, for instance, is being discussed. Establishing a routed public transportation system is being discussed. Inpatient mental health beds, strengthening addiction treatment options, and expanding affordable and available second chance housing. Each of these ideas requires space, staffing, and funding. None of them can be done by one agency or by agencies alone. This is a community issue. It is not a City Mission issue. And meaningful progress will require all of us to be part of the solution. City Mission welcomes any council member or the public to come see what we do. Take a tour, share a meal with us, see firsthand the work, the care, and the accountability that it takes every day to help the individuals concerned. Thank you for your time.
All right, we talked about that. You do a great job. You work very hard, and I'm sure the applause was coming from the heart. Ms. Frischi.
Ms. Bossman, I appreciate that you came and spoke against the loitering ordinance. I do agree with you on that. I just want to touch base. You know, you mentioned that any council person can come and tour your facility, and I just want to give you the opportunity to correct. You did a editorial in the paper saying that I specifically have never been there and toured, and that was incorrect information. I was disappointed that the Courier published it to begin with, but I am not against the city mission, and I just want it on the record. And I do believe that there is improvement that can be made with policy and procedure on the city mission side, because it is not your problem, but the city mission is taking on the issue at task. And we are glad you are here, but sometimes we need to reevaluate some things and see where we can help. Like you said, with the police, we call, we address. And so I just wanted to say that, but I have been there, so thank you.
I thank you. And to make correction, when I talked to the Courier, I did say, of course, anybody knows editorials are, but since I have been there in the last 3.5 years, with the current thing, to my knowledge, you have not toured. The other, I want to say, I have sent you a couple of emails since that discourse, asking you what policies you have an issue with, and I've yet to receive.
I did call you, though, on that day of the thing. However, in my last statement, will say I do work with some of the folks that are staying at the city mission. I do help them with services.
Oh, I know, and I appreciate
and so
that.
I am engaged with the city mission, so I appreciate that, but I was there. Thanks.
Any questions or comments? Thank you. Okay. Second, we're going to invite Randy Otterman. Where's Randy? Randy would also like to speak to the loitering item.
All right, I'm here, Randy Odermatt. I'm here tonight to speak on the loitering ordinance. I'm not in favor of it, but not for some of the same reasons that were presented by the previous speaker. I just don't see it as a problem that affects a lot of people. I spend quite a bit of time downtown. I understand there's some instances involving homeless people, drug activity, and the mental health issue is sort of tied with both of those things, I believe. We have laws already in place that can handle these issues, I feel, and it doesn't need to affect every citizen and make it subject to any sort of judgment. I've really never felt uncomfortable walking downtown, at times, but I understand, as the previous speaker said, there are different levels of comfort for people. I could be in a situation where I'm fine. Somebody else may be all nervous about that situation. That's just kind of the human nature. But my underlying concern with this and another topic on tonight's agenda, the farm ordinance, which I'm not going to talk about both of them, is that they are an infringement on citizens' rights, particularly property rights with the farm ordinance. And that's, I think, a hot topic for just about everyone. You want to start messing with what I could do while I'm walking around downtown or what I could do with my property. People are going to get worked up about that. And I'll give you credit, though. You've really come up with an issue on this. I was outside, and I've seen some of the social media posts. You've brought together the ultra-conservatives in this community and the liberals. They're on the same page on this issue, and that's I'm excited about that. I talked to Jim about this last night at another meeting, and we need to have more of that, I think, in this community. We're all on the same page. We all deal with the same issues, and I don't care if you're a Republican, a Democrat, or neither. We need to get away from all of the worried about the national, the tariffs and releasing the Epstein files and all that crap, and deal with things that are happening right here in Findlay, Ohio. So what options do you have now? This ordinance is on the third reading tonight. Again, not trying to tie an issue. You're also going to start considering the farm animal issue. You can vote on this tonight, or, as Mr. Fagner will say, not table, but delay until a future date. All right. The problem with that is You've only got 2 meetings left in the year. And as you know, but I'm not sure a lot of the people here in the audience or listening know, you can't carry legislation over to next year. You got to do it either now or 4 weeks from now. If you don't, it dies and you have to reintroduce it, but that is still an option. All right. Also, 4 weeks from now, after this is decided and the farm animal ordinance is decided, 4 weeks, we got 9 of the 10 people sitting up here that are no longer going to be on council. We've got 9 new people coming in. Mr. DeArmond will be the holdover. I campaigned earlier this year with most of these people, some of them for and some of them against. I think as I counted, there was 5 plus a spouse standing in the audience tonight for the new council members. So what I would like to see you do is vote no on this issue, and in 4 weeks, the following issue. I believe that the next council, 9 different people than what's sitting here that will vote, have the right to do that, because they are the ones who are going to be held accountable.
All right, Randy, that's 4 minutes.
I got about 1 left.
Mr. Niemeyer.
I'd like to make a motion to leave him finish.
Second, Mr. Greeno. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right.
All right.
Well, any opposed? Yeah. All right, Randy.
Okay. I'd like to see both of these voted down and to allow the new council to make the decision. They're the ones who are going to be held accountable. You people are not. And that, I think, to pass 2 very unpopular issues in a period of 4 weeks is going to leave a real bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. If for some reason the administration feels the need to reintroduce it next year, you already have them fine-tuned, and we'll have a completely new council in place that will be accountable to the citizens of this city for the next 2 years, not 4 weeks. So I ask you to do the right thing, and please put the accountability where it belongs.
Now, again.
Thanks, Randy.
Questions or comments for Randy?
Nice job.
All right. Thank you, Randy.
I agree with you.
Sorry, next is Sean Mason. Where's Sean? Sean would like to speak also. All right, hang on a second here. I got to get my time. All right, go ahead.
Good evening. My name is Sean Mason, and I'm here to talk about Ordinance 2025-134. Or as I have come to think of it, the please move along, you are making us uncomfortable act. We are told this ordinance is about safety, about order, a little housekeeping for downtown. But when you actually read the words, what you find is a law that tries to regulate the simple act of existing in public. That's all it takes. Existing, standing, sitting, breathing in the wrong spot at the wrong time. The ordinance says that an officer can order you to move along if you lack an apparent lawful purpose. Now that phrase is something special. It means whatever someone wants it to mean. What's an apparent lawful purpose? Apparent to whom? Based on what? Maybe you're waiting for a ride. Maybe you're taking a moment to sit. Maybe you're a human being who dared to slow down for 10 seconds. Under this language, all of that is unlawful if an officer decides you do not look busy enough. This is not public safety. This is subjective judgment masquerading as policy. And then we get to the line that is supposed to make us feel better. The ordinance says no one shall be stopped solely for standing, walking, or talking. Very comforting, very humane. But the key word is solely. The moment an officer decides you lack an apparent lawful purpose, that protection collapses. It's like putting a trap door in the middle of the sidewalk and calling it a safety feature. It looks helpful until you actually step on it. This so-called safeguard protects exactly nobody who needs protection. At the recent committee of the whole meeting, the law director said, "Nothing is unconstitutional until a court of law says it is, and by God, we will deal with it then." That is not legal guidance. That is playing Russian roulette with taxpayer money and hoping the chamber is empty. Let me ask you a simple question. If someone is ordered to move along, where exactly do they go? Across the street? down the street, to another street. During the day, we have no designated place for people with nowhere to go. This ordinance does not create order. It creates a citywide game of musical chairs where people with the least always lose. There is no path to compliance. The goal is simply to make those people disappear. And we need to talk about the process. The ordinance that got its first reading is not the ordinance in front of you tonight. It was rewritten line by line. Yet here we are on a third reading as if nothing changed. The whole point of multiple readings is public transparency. This is in every meaningful sense a new ordinance and should be treated like one. The ordinance does not reduce homelessness. It does not make anyone safer. It simply moves people from one block to another and calls it progress. It invites lawsuits the city is likely to lose. And it reveals the real priority here, making sure the wealthy and well-connected can stroll downtown without ever being reminded that poverty exists in Findlay. Cities that actually solve these problems do not do it with laws like this.
That's not fun.
Homelessness is reduced by providing support services and a place for people to be, not by kicking people while they are down. Tonight, I'm asking you, Council, to vote no on Ordinance 2025-134 and direct staff to bring a real plan forward, outreach, a small daytime space, coordination around housing and stability, something that treats people like human beings instead of obstacles to be relocated. The community is watching. If this ordinance passes, residents are ready to begin the referendum process and bring this issue directly to voters. People in the city know their rights. They know when the government crosses a line, and they will not remain silent while a law punishes people simply for having nowhere to go. We can protect safety and constitutional rights at the same time. We can do better than this ordinance, and we should. Thank you.
Questions or comments? Thank you. Oh, Ms. Fisher.
I think just to give you a comment, you said, where do these people go? I think in that meeting, maybe Rob mentioned the park, just so you know.
Thank you, Ms. Fisher.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sean. Our next and final on this issue is Angela Guthrie. Where's Angela? I know she's here. Angela, just a reminder, we're speaking about loitering here, even though you had mentioned you'd like to speak on some other things.
I actually told you I was going to be speaking on animals, but I'm gonna redo it here. Yeah, council members, thank you so much for the opportunity to speak tonight. I would like to reference the work of Frederick Bassat, a French economist and statesman who wrote an important book in 1850 entitled The Law. Though it was written a long time ago, its principles are timeless and they speak directly to the ordinances that are being proposed recently. Bastiat argued that the sole purpose of the government is to protect its citizens' three basic, unalienable rights, which are life, liberty, and property. Unalienable means given to us by God, not the government. He stated these rights come before government, and it's the government's responsibility to protect these basic rights. According to Bastiat, whenever the law goes beyond protecting these basic rights, it begins to misuse its power. It starts to regulate life rather than safeguard it. It begins to control people instead of defending their freedoms, and it eventually limits instead of protecting. Bastiat warned that when government tries to manage people, shape behavior, or enforce preferences, even when it's disguised as for the greater good, or as we heard here tonight, protection, the law becomes something it was never intended to be in the first place, a total overreach. This leads me to my next point. Many ordinances go far beyond preventing harm. In fact, they regulate I did animals, so I'm sorry, because that's what I told you I was doing. In fact, they regulate how many animals a person can own, what kind and under what conditions, even when nobody's rights have been violated. This is not protection, this is control. But Bastiat makes it clear that the law must punish evil, not regulate harmless behavior. And this goes for the other ordinances that I'm not allowed to mention, as stated by Councilman Harrington. My second point is restrictions often punish people simply for being in a public space. If no life, liberty, or property is being harmed, then the law is acting before a violation has even occurred. Bastiat would say that the government restricts freedom without an actual victim. It has stepped well beyond its rightful boundaries. Regulating who can buy, bid on, keep animals on, develop property on creates unfair advantages. It favors certain groups and restrictions.
We talked about this.
I said
Hang on a second. Quiet. I told you if you wanted to speak to all three this evening that I would allow you at the end of the meeting. Did I not?
I apologize.
Okay.
May I keep
and
going?
you agreed that you were going to only speak about the loitering when this issue is on the agenda right now. Okay? Now, if you want to continue on the other subjects, I will cut you off right now and you can speak at the end. You
I do
decide
apologize.
which one you want to do.
I will continue with
Thank you.
loitering. It favors certain groups and restricts others, not because of harm, not because of government, but because, or not because of harm, but because the government chooses winners and losers. Bastiat called this legal plunder. The use of law is not to protect our basic rights, but to control economic outcomes. These ordinances do not simply guard the rights of the citizens, they extend government power in the areas that it does not belong. And once these rights are given up, newsflash, we do not get them back. Every ordinance is passed becomes a permanent limitation. Once freedom is handed over to the government, history shows that it is almost never restored. Regulations expand, not retract. Restrictions grow, not shrink. Bastiat warned that when the law expands beyond protecting its rights, it will never return to the original purpose, but keeps reaching further and further until people forget what true liberty looks like. Have you ever read the book Animal Farm by George Orwell? Council members, our community trusts you to safeguard our rights, not to limit them. These ordinances may seem small, but the precedent you are setting is enormous. Once these rights are forfeited, they will most likely never return. I respectfully urge you to uphold the principles that the law should protect, our basic God-given rights of life, liberty, and property. I'm almost done.
4 minutes. Mr. Niemeyer.
I'd like to make a motion to leave her finish and maybe finish all subjects and
I'm sorry, Mr. Niemeyer, we're on a specific item on
This
our
is
agenda.
council's rules.
Did I hear a second?
Yeah.
Ms. Frishy? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. I respectfully urge you to uphold the principles that the law should protect, our basic God-given rights, liberty, and property. Nothing more, nothing less. All authority and liberties belong to Jesus, and woe to those who take these God-given liberties away. I also want to note that Randy, and I love you, Randy, got to speak on 2 separate subjects, but thank you so much for your time.
Questions? Comments? Thank you. Okay, that concludes on this agenda item the public comments. Mr. Russell.
In light of this being a replacement ordinance on today's agenda, and in order to give the public and council the opportunity to further consider it, I make a motion that that consideration of this ordinance be postponed to the December 2nd meeting, if I said that right in the proper manner, Mr. Law Director.
Second, Mr. Palmer. Discussion. Mayor?
So first of all, I want to say thank you to everyone who has provided constructive feedback and respectful comments, because we have heard from a lot of folks over the last couple of weeks. And I can tell you, just receiving, no, this is terrible, you're really stupid, is not really helpful when we're trying to craft legislation. And I understand that that may be the sentiment, but that's not always constructive. At the committee of the whole meeting, and I think a little bit at the last council meeting, I shared kind of why this was brought forward. And I apologize because I requested this be brought forward because we had a repeat problem that we were trying to figure out when we have folks calling saying we don't want to take our kids, and I know many of you know, hey, we're taking our kids through, and there was a population of people that I think were purposefully causing issue in front of a business. and you can disagree with me, but I was the one receiving the call and saying, you got to call the police, and the police called back and said, Mayor, they weren't doing anything. But it was related to small children, right? So there's a difference of, well, what are the solutions we can potentially provide? This was an option to bring forward for discussion. Clearly, I think that the sentiment is that this is not the appropriate solution and would cause problems. And so, Councilman Russell, obviously that it's up to council. The administration's job is to bring forward potential options for consideration. We have been doing that. We have taken feedback into account and have revised. I would say, however, depending on how council feels, I think we should just put the issue to bed rather than continuing to delay it. I don't know where you all feel, but I hear the concerns, and I would be fine with removing the legislation or voting it down and continuing to work. And I know we've been working with Catherine the last couple of years and are making great progress on those things. But I would say that I still have concerns with the situation because there are children, and that changes my perspective on how we need to handle the situation. And you all can disagree, that's fine, but you're not the one that is also responsible for that situation. So that would just be my share with the committee.
Mr. Russell.
At the committee of the whole meeting, part of the discussion was how do you put a replacement ordinance in here and give people the opportunity to give their input and give full consideration. And in that, we spoke of methods to do that. You mentioned that you would put the ordinance in the packet as is done. But we also talked about either giving it 3 readings or postpone or moving consideration to the first meeting in December. That gives opportunity for the folks who oppose this ordinance as well as the folks who are in favor of this ordinance. And I have received input from both sides of this. So to remove it from the agenda tonight doesn't give citizens on both sides the opportunity to talk to their council reps, and it also kind of we didn't make a decision at the committee of the whole, but we laid out or discussed a plan, and I think that plan is exercised best by my motion. By my motion to postpone consideration to the first meeting in December.
Ms. Frischie.
Mayor, it took you a lot of courage in what you said, and I think it's fantastic that you were able to say that to this group here tonight, because I agree with you. I think when our law director said in the meeting, which Sean also mentioned, nothing is unconstitutional until a court of law says it is. And I don't think we want to get ourselves into that situation. I agree with you. We either need to vote it down tonight and just let the new council, if they want to address it next year. I think it's great that you're working with Catherine, and I'm sure the police department and DFID and everybody. And I think there are ways to address the problem, because I agree with you. Kids are number one priority, but we can't write an ordinance just for 1 or 2 properties. We have the same problem at the library and everything, and I don't hear the same complaints from the library. So I would fully 100% support voting this down tonight and just taking it off the table. It does not eliminate further discussion happening in 2026.
Mr. Feigner.
Motion to postpone to a certain time. The debate turns into whether that should be considered or not, and that's what I'm hearing here. I just want to take a moment not to discuss the underlying loitering statute or ordinance proposal, but I want to respond to Ms. Frischie and Mr. Mason here to defend myself. When I say that something might be constitutional when a court decides such, you got to take that into the contents to which I've been educated. And well, I can't name the famous Supreme Court case right now, United States Supreme Court case, one of the famous justices that indicated, I know obscenity when I see it. And that was one of the most famous quotes, and when you study legal history. And what that meant was that some things need to be looked at on a case-by-case basis. How are the police department enforcing it? How are words being interpreted? And that's what our courts are for. So take that comment in that context. It's not just a comment of, let's just let her rip and see what happens.
Let's move on from that part. Yeah, we have a motion and a second. Is there any to the motion? Mr. Russell.
Call the question.
Second, Mr. Palmer. We're going to call the question. All those in favor? All those in favor of calling the question? Hang on, I got to find out if we got to do a roll call or a voice here.
No, that was a discussion.
The motion was to postpone.
It was, we
heard
should
a
have
second.
discussed all of this in the committee, because I didn't want to move forward. We should have had that conversation, but we didn't. We had a 15-minute meeting.
All those in favor of call the question, say aye if your name is called. Those opposed, nay.
Ms. Frischi?
Nay.
Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
Mr. Niemeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
Mr. Wopser?
Aye.
Mr. Baumann?
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
1 nay.
So that's the 7. Now we're taking the vote now.
Okay, yeah, so that threshold of 2/3 was passed, so now we're going to vote on the motion to postpone. All those in favor say aye. After your name is called, those opposed, nay.
Sorry, I'm making a note. So I know what to do. Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
Mr. Niemeyer?
Nay.
Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
Mr. Wopser?
Aye.
Mr. Baumann?
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
Ms. Frischi?
Nay.
2 nay.
Okay, the motion to postpone is accepted, and Rob would like to say something.
So that will go to unfinished business at the December 2nd meeting.
All right. Right, next.
You can postpone it again.
Third reading for ordinance number 2025-135, and ordinance amending section 521.02 entitled Dilapidated Structures of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Findlay, Ohio, thus repealing all ordinances and/or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith. That's a third reading.
Mr. Russell. Hey, hang on a second. All those who want to leave now because you were here for this loitering, let's get it over with so we can continue our business. If you want to stick around, that's okay, right? I hope you do. See our government in action. You get to come one more meeting and talk about this. Just think about that.
Or maybe another one.
Hang on.
Stupid.
All right. Where was I?
Dilapidated structures.
Oh, Mr. Russell.
Move for adoption of ordinance 2025-135.
Second, Mr. DeArmond. Discussion. All those in favor of the ordinance say aye. If your name is called, those opposed, nay.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
Mr. Niemeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
Mr. Wopser?
Aye.
Mr. Baumann?
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
Ms. Frischi?
Nay.
Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
1 nay.
The ordinance is adopted.
Third reading for ordinance number 2025-136, and ordinance amending section 521.07 entitled Weeds of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Findlay, Ohio, thus repealing all ordinances and/or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith.
Mr. DeArmond.
Make a motion to adopt ordinance number 2025-136.
Second, Mr. Hellman. Discussion. All those in favor of the ordinance say aye. If your name is called, those opposed, nay.
Mr. Niemeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
Mr. Wopser?
Aye.
Mr. Baumann?
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
Ms. Frischi?
Nay.
Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
And Mr. Hellman.
Aye.
The ordinance is adopted. 9-1.
Third reading for ordinance number 2025-137, an ordinance repealing existing chapter 1351 of the codified ordinances of the city of Findlay, Ohio, enacting a new chapter 1351 entitled Flood Damage Prevention Code to comply with current model regulations of the Ohio Department of Natural Resources and Natural Flood Insurance Program, thus repealing all ordinances and or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith.
Mr. Wobser.
Make a motion to approve.
Second, Mr. Baumann. Discussion. All those in favor of the ordinance say aye if your name is called. Those opposed, nay.
Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
Mr. Wobser?
Aye.
Mr. Baumann?
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
Ms. Frishy?
Aye.
Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
And Mr. Niemeyer.
Aye.
The ordinance is adopted.
Third reading for ordinance number 2025-138, an ordinance imposing a 12-month moratorium on the establishment of new vape, smoke, and hemp retailers other than conditionally approved dispensaries, providing for regulation and enforcement, and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Wobser.
Make a motion to approve 2025-138.
Second, Mr. Hellman. Discussion. Ms. Frishy.
Matt, can you talk on this a little bit since it didn't go to committee? Like, what's the exact detail? So, current vape shops, it's not you? Oh. Oh, you didn't bring this one. Okay. I guess I'm just trying to understand. I know that there was some problems with the marijuana or something, but what is this exactly telling us?
Mayor.
So yes, this was brought forward by Eric Adkins, our zoning administrator, and this really follows in line with some of the discussion going on at the state level. There's a variety of products that are not kind of state or federally regulated hemp products, the Delta 8, some of these other items that are problematic that it's just, you know, we had the issues at Major Vape, I think is the one that it was, as well as some others. But this just allows us time to see what the state does, as well as then put some better restrictions locally on these establishments.
So this is just, if there's a current establishment and they bring those in, we can't do anything. We can't go in and shut them down.
There are a variety of things that they can do, obviously, if they're selling to underage, which was how some of the stuff with Major Vape, but otherwise you are correct, yes. There are things that even if they're selling those products, we can't do anything about it.
Mr. DeArmond.
Mayor, do you remember the statistics Eric had about how many were opened up in the last 6 months? Remember, do you remember?
I do not remember the specific
It
number.
was shocking.
But I would say we definitely have seen a lot. And I think being able to kind of tamp it down and then reevaluate and put in some better restrictions would be beneficial.
Oh. Mr. Feigner.
Also, for some clarity, I spoke with Eric Adkins on this, and I know he's following the legislation down in Columbus, and it would be likely that they might be finished with their own rules that we're all going to have to follow. So we'd have to follow those anyway and not have to worry about local implementation of stuff.
All those in favor of this ordinance say aye if your name is called. Those opposed, nay.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
Mr. Wobser?
Aye.
Mr. Baumann?
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
Ms. Frishy?
Aye.
Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
Mr. Niemeyer?
Aye.
And Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
The ordinance is adopted.
Second reading for ordinance number 2025-142. An ordinance authorizing the mayor, service safety director, and/or city engineer of the city of Findlay, Ohio, to apply for and enter into grant agreements with the Ohio Department of Transportation Aviation Division in order to receive funds to be utilized for the design phase of the runway 1836 lighting rehabilitation project to be funded in 2026 at the city of Findlay Airport and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Russell.
Both this ordinance and the next ordinance are the asking for the ability to apply for FAA grants, something that we rely on to do almost all of our, or vast majority of our work out at the airport. There's no reason, we typically suspend when we're looking to apply for grants, and it gives the engineering department extra leeway to get these things done. Therefore, I make a motion that council statutory rules be suspended and this ordinance be given its third reading.
Second, Mr. Niemeyer. All those in favor of suspension of the rules say aye if your name is called. Those opposed, nay.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
Mr. Wobser?
Aye.
Mr. Baumann?
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
Ms. Frishy?
Aye.
Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
Mr. Niemeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
And Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Rules of council been suspended, and the clerk will give this ordinance its third and final reading.
Ordinance number 2025-142.
Mr. Wobser.
Make a motion to approve.
Second, Mr. Greeno. Discussion. All those in favor of the ordinance say aye after your name is called. Those opposed, nay.
Mr. Wobser.
Aye.
Mr. Ballman.
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond.
Aye.
Ms. Frishy.
Aye.
Mr. Greeno.
Aye.
Mr. Hellman.
Aye.
Mr. Niemeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Palmer.
Aye.
Mr. Russell.
Aye.
And Ms. Warnicki.
Aye.
The ordinance is adopted.
Second reading for ordinance number 2025-143. An ordinance authorizing the mayor, service safety director, and/or city engineer of the city of Findlay, Ohio, to apply for and enter into grant agreements with the Ohio Department of Transportation Aviation Division in order to receive funds to be utilized for the construction phase of the Runway 1836 Lighting Rehabilitation Project to be funded in 2026 at the city of Findlay Airport and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Russell.
Move that council statutory rules be suspended and ordinance 2025-143 be given its third reading.
Second, Mr. Hellman. All those in favor of the suspension of the rules say aye after your name is called. Those opposed, nay.
Mr. Ballman.
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond.
Aye.
Ms. Frishy.
Aye.
Mr. Greeno.
Aye.
Mr. Hellman.
Aye.
Mr. Niemeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Palmer.
Aye.
Mr. Russell.
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki.
Aye.
Mr. Wobser.
Aye.
Rules of council have been suspended, and the clerk will give this ordinance its third and final reading.
Ordinance number 2025-143. Ordinance number 20. Oh, I left you one.
Okay, Mr. Wobser.
Make a motion to approve.
Second, Mr. Hellman. All those in discussion. All those in favor of the ordinance say aye after your name is called. Those opposed, nay.
Mr. DeArmond.
Aye.
Ms. Frishy.
Aye.
Mr. Greeno.
Aye.
Mr. Hellman. Mr. Niemeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Palmer.
Aye.
Mr. Russell.
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki.
Aye.
Mr. Wobser.
Aye.
Mr. Ballman.
Aye.
Ordinance is approved.
Second reading for ordinance number 2025-145. An ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept permanent ownership of the properties on the attached exhibits from the Hancock County Board of County Commissioners as part of the continued flood mitigation efforts and declaring an emergency. Second reading for ordinance number 2025-146. An ordinance appropriating funds and declaring an emergency. Second reading for ordinance number 2025-147, an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Findlay, Ohio to enter into a real estate purchase agreement with the Blanchard Valley Port Authority as well as RJT Properties LLC for the sale of city-owned real estate not needed for any municipal purpose located at 428 West Main Cross Street. I think you have one for that.
We have four that asked to speak to this ordinance. First in line today was Robin Welly. Robin would like to speak to this. Robin, you know the 4-minute rule, and I'll wave this at you at about 3:45. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Robin Wally, president of the West Park Block Watch. The reason this is important is because these two properties are going to the Port Authority. We have a property in West Park that's going to the Carlin Avenue property, and I'm sure that was already brought up earlier this year. I'm sure this is the same direction that the city's going to go with that. The whole problem is when you start turning this stuff over to the Port Authority, it takes the fairness out of selling properties. I just attended a meeting upstairs, the financial thing, and they voted to go ahead with it and give it to the Port Authority. Mr. Stasiak asked my first few questions. Was there more than one appraisal? Was it the appraisal given with or without the buildings on it? And who chose the appraiser? When this is going to be done, we're using city employees to demolish the buildings. That is taking money away from a local contractor who could be hired to demolish those buildings. On November 6th, I seen our overtime rate was $800,000. Why are we risking more overtime to benefit a private business? Why are we using our city guys to destroy those buildings? This is not good business practice and definitely bad management for a municipality. Findlay City citizens should hang their heads in shame. This is our administration doing this blatant slap in the face to equal opportunity in our city. This is nothing more than favoritism to big money. Thank you.
Okay, next is Tim Powell. Tim, I want to make sure you're a citizen of the city of Findlay.
I have been a citizen
Awesome.
for 71 years.
All right, you got 4 minutes.
Thank you.
71 years and 4 minutes. There you go.
I'm probably older than just a couple of you.
I got you.
Okay, I don't really have anything written down to say. I'm not very eloquent, but I have a way to get my point across.
Okay.
And so here goes. If I was the owner, if not the city was the owner of these properties and I was the owner of the property and Dietz's wanted to buy this property from me, I surely wouldn't do all this writ of mitigation you're going to do, whatever it is. I ask, why are you tearing this building down for them? Why are you doing that? Why are you making it saleable to them? They don't want it if you don't do this? That's my question. They don't want it anymore? If you don't do this for them? I don't believe it. And I think it's very undervalued in the appraisals. I'm a property owner in Findlay, not just my own house. And my property values have went up since 2012. They've skyrocketed. And I want to know why the city doesn't want to make a profit off of this. I wonder, I went by there. There's 3 buildings on the property. They only want to tear one down. Which one do they want to tear down, and what are they going to do with the other 2? That's my, oh, I'm not, I'm just asking. I guess as I expected an answer, I don't get that. Anyways, that's where I'm at on this. You know, go ahead, sell it to them, but $340,000 is not a correct appraisal on that property, especially when you're going to make it the way they want it. If they want to buy it, let them buy it, but for the appraised value, because I feel the city is just giving it to them. Okay, next. I'm out of breath. Okay, North Main Street. I went to the Finance Committee, and the thing I didn't like there was you say what the use for the North Main Street property is going to be. It's going to be for this, the fire truck, and other little things they saved up. But when you said they were going to put apartments in the top, it made me question, who's going to be the deed? Who's buying the property? Who is the purchaser of the property? I don't believe it's the fire people. I think somebody else is buying it. We're going to use it for this, and the city's just giving it away at $100,000. That's ridiculous. $100,000. If any of you council members own that property, picture yourself owning that property. Would you sell it for $100,000? No, you wouldn't. And I don't expect this council. If you get more money, fine. That's fine with me. But I don't believe it's being expressed who the real owner of the property is going to be. Okay, I don't need no, and I've only come up here once because this is why I get too nervous. So, thank you.
Questions or comments, Ms. Frischie?
He had a good question that I don't have the answer to. I thought all buildings were coming off.
That is correct. My understanding is all buildings will be torn down. And just a point of clarification, our overtime recently is tied to police and fire. Public Works team members would be conducting it, and they are paying for the labor associated with that cost as part of the purchase price.
Next is Andrew Woolry. Andrew, first question, are you a citizen of the city of Findlay?
I am.
Thank you. Okay, you have 4 minutes.
All right, thank you all for your time, and first time in this brick gravitron room here, but it's pretty cool. Appreciate your service to our community and Mayor Mirren for the time you put into negotiating, even though I disagree with the way they're being sold. So every conversation I've had with the community members, they believe that these properties should be auctioned in a fair way. The only party that believes the public auction process should be bypassed and the property sold directly to the purchaser of the properties is the purchaser and perhaps Mayor Mirren. So this excludes the entire public to benefit just a select few. Yet it's been stated it's for the benefit of public interest that, for example, the 428 property goes directly to Dietz's. Anytime the city has a piece of land that a neighboring business or special interest wants, are we going to sell it to them directly? How do we decide who gets the special treatment? Knowing Dietz's plan for the property, does an industrial food facility address the downtown area, their current needs? Should we encourage this property to be developed into a storefront or affordable housing or mixed use? The Courier article quotes the mayor's arrangement ensures the property's best use. For the purchasers, I'd agree, but for the public, no. Is this the last time that Dietz's will need to expand? I'm happy to see them succeed as a local business, and I want our administration and council members to support local businesses and their success. But perhaps this is the time to encourage them to utilize the areas that we've already invested taxpayer money towards, attracting business growth and ease of access. I think we put all this money into attracting businesses near I-75. There's plenty of farmland, plenty of room for warehouses, plenty of room to grow. Downtown has a finite area, and I don't think we need another warehouse down there or whatever. It's not going to be a bigger ice cream parlor. And again, I don't see why the city would agree to handle the demolition. I think the property should be sold as is, and then whoever buys it does what they want with it. It's theirs. And then more so, the 428 property purchased for $270,000 in 2012, now being sold for $340,000, 10K demolition, so call it $330,000. So you're telling me a property of over an acre and a half in the downtown area that since purchase has been removed from the FEMA floodplain has only experienced a 22% increase in its value in 11 years, while real estate all around town has risen twice as much or more. So I question where the appraisal came from, all the details on that. Even just a cursory look online, public estimates put the property hundreds of $1,000s higher. And the old fire station is similarly dubious to me. There's no reason the city can't fetch top dollar for that property while ensuring that the building keeps its historical nature. And then again, in the Courier article, I'm not trying to put you on blast here, Mayor, but if we put the property up to a straight auction, somebody else could come in and then hold Dietz's hostage for being able to expand their business. I don't get the logic of that argument, that someone would be able to come in, outbid Dietz's and outbid Dietz's, and then turn right around and then force Dietz's to pay more. That doesn't really make sense to me. And then one quick, just a minute.
Go ahead and make that. It's got to be quick.
Okay. Okay, sorry. These arrangements look unethical, and even at a glance, it doesn't pass the smell test. And evaluating the financials and the interest of the public, it only gets worse. Please set a high standard for our city, yourselves, and the public's expectations. No one can argue foul play if the properties are publicly auctioned to the highest bidder. Thank you again for your time and service.
Ms. Frishy.
Andrew, thank you for speaking on that. You don't have to get back up. I just wanted to share with you, we had finance meeting, and in that, yes, approximately 10,000 to demolish all three with city workers, but we are also going to cover some of the environmental cleanup for them to 13 or 18,000. I can't remember is what's in the budget with the sale price. So we're also assisting in the environmental on that. And lastly, standard process in communities is public auction, and we do have a port authority, but in my opinion it's abused because this is not the way we're sidestepping. So I do agree with you, so thank you for speaking.
I was just going to add, and Councilwoman Frischie brought it up, that part of the impact on the valuation is that it is used to have underground storage tanks there or environmental considerations, and so that does have a big impact on the property value. And I think one of the things that, from my perspective, when you're looking at it is, the purpose of the Port Authority, and you can all watch the Finance Committee, so I won't keep us all here longer, but is that we're looking at, I think we're just going to differentiate that you see Dietz's expansion as just warehousing in our downtown, which I agree, warehousing is not the highest and best use. However, being able to expand their production and their locale makes a lot more sense to be able to keep that facility in our downtown area. And I think that it is an important part of the fabric of our downtown. We talk about people, I've been in Charlotte, North Carolina in an elevator at a hotel, and somebody from France said, Findlay, Ohio, that's Dietz's, right? They had chocolates, and that's something, it's part of our community fabric. And so this is not just about a piece of land, it is about supporting. And if there are businesses that have adjacent property to us that is beneficial, then yes, I would give them preferential treatment if they're able to expand because they are a part of our community. So I do look at it differently. It's not just about the dollars and cents. It is about the value that they add to our community as a whole.
Ms. Frisching.
And Andrew, one more thing the mayor brought up, that there was environmental. We talked about tanks. Just to be clear, those tanks were removed. We don't know when, but in 2018, we talked about this whole project being sold and the buildings torn down. Those tanks are no longer there. There are other environmental just with the dirt.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay. All right. Let's see. That was Tim, right? Huh? That was Andrew. Sorry. Chelsea. Hang on, Chelsea. Got a question for you. Are you a citizen of the city of Findlay?
Marion Township.
Okay. Huh? Okay. Mr. Feigner just said it. Now, let me ask you, explain why I ask. This is a city of Findlay council meeting, and so outside, per our rules, people who live outside of Findlay are not normally allowed to speak unless they have an interest in the city of Findlay, say a business, or you're an adjoining property owner on a zoning issue, and things like that. So if you wonder why I'm asking that, that's why I am. So, okay, you're good to go. Okay. All right, thank you.
All right, good evening. Thank you for giving me a moment to speak with you all this evening. My name is Chelsea Steinman, and I am kind of in the city at Marion Township, and I'm also a real estate agent, and I care about the impact of directly selling city-owned properties to prioritize businesses without making them available to the public. And I appreciate the chance to share my perspective. Selling city-owned property through a public auction is the most transparent and responsible option. An auction allows every qualified buyer to participate, which protects the city from any appearance of favoritism and helps ensure the public receives the highest possible price for taxpayers. It also aligns with ethical and legal obligations to treat public assets with fairness, and it reduces legal risk by proving the city acted objectively. By opening the process to competition, it encourages real economic development. The final buyer is likely someone who is truly interested and invested in using the property productively, leading to development, jobs, and increased tax value. Lastly, by opening the process to competition, it strengthens public trust in how city resources are managed. Residents want to see city assets handled responsibly, and an auction shows the city is acting openly, maximizing value, and making decisions in the public's best interest. And as a real estate agent, I care about this because its open, competitive property sales keep our market fair and healthy. Auctions prevent favoritism, support strong property value, and encourage real economic development that benefits the entire community, including the housing market. A transparent process is essential for protecting both taxpayers and our local real estate industry. By making the property unavailable to qualified buyers, it sets precedents of future city-owned property. And I respectfully ask the council to consider the long-term benefits of a competitive, open process. It's the option that best serves the city and its residents. And I do want to address there was a gas station on the back of the property that was, I don't know when it was removed either. I do know that. And then also with Dietz's has 2 locations, and I think it was was it Sewing Center is no longer there. KFC is empty, so there is on their second location on Tiffin Avenue, there is room to expand over there too. So I don't know what Dietz's is planning on doing with their if they were to buy West Bank Cross, but there are options on the other side of town too. So, thank you.
Oh, Ms. Frischie?
Chelsea, you sound like a really good realtor to me. Very common sense. And I think the question is a valid one. I think we need to hear from Dietz's directly. We did get a letter in our finance meeting that our safety service director read, but I think those are good questions that should be asked to Dietz's because we do love them and we support them, and we just have to sometimes take the emotion out.
Sure.
Thank you for your time tonight.
Mr. Feigner?
I just want to make a comment for clarification for the crowd and folks that watch these council meetings as this ordinance and the other one goes through its readings. When we think and you hear people use the word auction, this isn't an auction where people stand around in a circle and raise their hands. When a municipality sells real estate and they do it through the bidding process, it advertises in a paper for a period of time. Bids are turned in, bids are opened, and they can be rejected. The municipality can then re-advertise said property, go through the bidding again, and then again decide they don't like any of those bids. Eventually, I'm sure it'll become a farce, and I'm sure that there's some issues regarding that. But this is not a standard auction where it goes up for sale, and by the end of the afternoon, it is sold.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, Mr. Russell.
Just a request for the folks who spoke and actually read a document. Denise actually listens to the tape and types these things up, and you can save her a lot of trouble. If you have a document, could you just email it of your comments to Denise? She can cut and paste, put it into the minutes, and save her a lot of listening and typing. That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you, and I'm sure Denise thanks you if you do that. So it takes her hours to do these, even days sometimes when there's a lot of people. Okay, that concludes that. All right, next. There was no motion on that. It was second reading on that last that we just discussed. Second reading. So we're going to move on to the next one.
Second reading for ordinance number 2025-148, an ordinance amending section 931.02 of the codified ordinances of the city of Findlay, Ohio by repealing section 931.02 and enacting amended section 931.02 of the codified ordinances of the city of Findlay, Ohio, thus repealing ordinance number 2008-87 and all ordinances and or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith.
Okay, next.
Second reading for ordinance number 2025-149, an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Findlay, Ohio to enter into a real estate purchase agreement with the Blanchard Valley Port Authority for the sale of city-owned real estate not needed for any municipal purpose located at 401 North Main Street.
Okay, next.
Second reading for ordinance number 2025-150, an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Findlay, Ohio to execute the City of Findlay Downtown Recreation Area Instrument of Transfer for Speed Down Designated Fund in order to utilize funds for the downtown recreation area and declaring an emergency.
Okay, next.
Second reading for ordinance number 2025-151. An ordinance repealing sections 1301.01, 1301.03A, 1301.05, 1301.07C, and 1301.09F of the Ohio Building Code of the codified ordinances of the City of Findlay, Ohio, thus repealing all ordinances and or parts of ordinances in conflict herewith. First reading for ordinance number 2025-152, an ordinance appropriating funds and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Palmer.
Since the funds to pay for these banners for our veterans are already paid for with private money and not tax dollars, I move that council's statutory rules be suspended and this ordinance be given its second and third reading.
Second, Mr. Greeno. All those in favor of suspension of the rules say aye if your name is called. Those opposed, nay.
Ms. Frischie?
Aye.
Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
Mr. Hellman? Mr. Niemeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
Mr. Wobser?
Aye.
Mr. Ballman?
Aye.
And Mr. DeArmond?
Rules of council have been suspended, and the clerk will give this ordinance its second and third reading.
Ordinance number 2025-152. Ordinance number 2025-152.
Mr. Palmer.
Move for adoption of ordinance number 2025-152.
Second, Mr. Wobser. Discussion. All those in favor of this ordinance say aye if your name is called. Those opposed, nay.
Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
Mr. Niemeyer? Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
Mr. Wobser?
Aye.
Mr. Ballman?
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
And Ms. Frischie?
Aye.
Ordinance is adopted.
First reading for ordinance number 2025-153, an ordinance authorizing the Service Safety Director of the City of Findlay, Ohio to file an application with the Department of Homeland Security Federal Emergency Management Agency Assistance to Firefighters Grant, accept the grant funding if awarded, and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Russell.
This is an annual grant that we apply for. There's a 90-10 split on it. I would move that that council suspend its statutory rules and give ordinance 2025-153 its second and third reading.
Second, Mr. Hellman. All those in favor of suspension of the rules say aye if your name is called. Those opposed, nay.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
Mr. Niemeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
Mr. Wobser?
Aye.
Mr. Ballman?
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond? Ms. Frischie?
Aye.
And Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
Rules of council have been suspended, and the clerk will give this ordinance its second and third reading.
Ordinance number 2025-153, ordinance number 2025-153.
Mr. Wobser.
Make a motion to approve.
Second, Mr. Greeno. Discussion. All those in favor of this ordinance say aye if your name is called. Those opposed, nay.
Mr. Niemeyer.
Aye.
Mr. Palmer.
Aye.
Mr. Russell.
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki.
Aye.
Mr. Wobser.
Aye.
Mr. Ballman.
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond.
Aye.
Ms. Frischie.
Aye.
Mr. Greeno.
Aye.
And Mr. Hellman.
Aye.
The ordinance is adopted.
First reading for ordinance number 2025-154, an ordinance establishing clear, consistent, and fair regulations for the keeping of farm animals in the city.
Okay, we have two people who would like to speak to this. First is Melissa Humphreys. I thought I saw Melissa, yep. And Melissa is a citizen of Findlay for many years. Yeah. All right, thank you.
Congratulations, Jim. Good evening. My name is Melissa Humphreys, and I live at 915 East Sandusky Street, next to the fairgrounds, here in Findlay. On November 3rd, I formally requested an all-citywide complaints for the city of Findlay as in regards to large animals, and in particular, my neighborhood around the fairgrounds. As yet, I have received nothing from the city since November 4th in regards to complaints. So I'm here to speak against the proposed large animal ordinance 2025-154 as written, and to explain why my property must be fully grandfathered. My property contains a 24-stall horse barn that has existed in my family for more than 6 decades. This barn was built and used long before the city ever considered regulating large animals. The city grew up around it, not the other way around. Under long-standing Ohio law, that makes my barn and its use a legal, non-conforming use. A non-conforming use is protected not just in the small moment of how many animals happen to be present on the day of the ordinance, but in the established use, in kind, and in extent. Ohio courts have repeatedly said that when a permanent structure exists for a specific use, before regulation, whether it is a greenhouse, a kennel, a garage, or a barn, its full functional use is grandfathered. You cannot reduce a 24-stall horse barn to a 10-horse limit without violating that principle. The historical use of my barn has always been as a multi-horse facility with the capacity to board or keep up to 20 or more animals. I have never abandoned that use. Abandonment under Ohio law requires actual cessation and intent, neither of which has ever occurred. The barn continues to be used for its original purpose every day. The proposed existing animal grandfather clause effectively destroys a long-established use and damages property rights that Ohio law protects. There are reasonable ways to address any concerns without taking away lawful existing uses. Inspections, waste management, standards, setbacks, and registration. But eliminating a long-standing equestrian use is not reasonable, necessary, or legally defensible. Last week, the community was invited to speak their concerns. Not one citizen came to support this ordinance, with the exception of one citizen who wanted to talk manure. Every citizen who spoke was against this ordinance. I respectfully ask council to reject this ordinance as written or amend it to fully grandfather my property and other established horse facilities. Thank you for your time and for listening.
Questions or comments?
Thank you.
Sarah Pugh. Sarah also wanted to talk about a couple subjects, but she's limited to the farm animals. All right. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you for having me today. I want to start by saying having no law is vastly superior to having a bad one. When I bought my house 10 years ago, I never expected to want to raise livestock. Now it's a necessity. We choose a one-income lifestyle so I can educate and expand our children's childhood, sorry. Why should I be penalized for not partaking in the system, such as schooling and choosing to stay home, but I also can't afford to move outside the city limits, so I have to be restricted to never owning a farm animal or giving my kids the education on all they offer? I don't understand why our rights are being attacked, and I know that you don't quite understand that, but it's very real. And right now, the reality of the housing market means that if you want a homestead, you kind of have to do it where you are. How many people on this administration or in this city council have ever been food insecure or have ever been homeless? Growing up, I was homeless on numerous occasions in my minorhood, and I know what it's like to be profoundly hungry. Does anyone understand up here what it's like for the sheriff to come and be days away from foreclosing on your home? Do you know what it's like to sleep in your car in a parking lot on Christmas Eve? Do you know what it's like to have all of the financial troubles, like paying for your mom-in-law's funeral after laying your mom and aunt to rest, having your car break down along with your washer break down and your pipes freeze for 2 weeks? That actually did happen to me, by the way. Maybe you do know what it's like, but maybe you don't know what it's like to struggle and why you might just be standing around downtown doing nothing, or why someone might have animals or natural landscaping for food at their home. You cited one specific instance of trouble with a neighbor and a horse, and honestly, she would be grandfathered in, so I'm not sure where this ordinance stands. For all the new factories and distribution centers that we have, you would think that we would want to attract new citizens. I'm telling you, none are passing up because we don't have an ordinance restricting farm animals, but some could because we do. You said that the same people, actually Matt said that, sorry. Matt said that the same people who keep showing up do not speak for the majority. I personally talked to 3 people who stated it doesn't matter when I implored them to email council because they're not happy with this ordinance. I'll ask, how many people need to be here to prove a majority? Have you seen comments online? Do those count? And there were multiple people here who chose to speak on a different topic, and some actually even left because they couldn't stay the whole time. The ordinance states that I can't take my animals with me, but what if I chose to leave and I still have to stay in the city because farmland is actually quite expensive? Owning a business is also not the same as owning an animal. I heard that compared, and that's assuming that we're bad pet owners or bad farm owners. There's also restrictions on the limit of size, and I went to the USDA and asked them. And so their suggestion was 1 acre was for a horse, 20 square feet per sheep, and 15 square feet per goat. To put that in perspective, 15 square feet is 0.00057 acres. So the 1 acre for goats and sheep and things, it hinders for no reason. Yes. Oh, no. Yeah. You said you wanted evidence of the pictures, so that way later the city couldn't come after the citizens. So removing that was a little confusing to me, because that kind of puts us in a scramble. I do have.
Mr. Palmer.
Move that her time be extended to finish her comments.
Second, Mr. Niemeyer. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay. Thank you, Sarah. There you go.
Thank you. You said the city targets families like me and people that speak out like me. I started speaking out, and all of a sudden things that happened years ago are suddenly popping up, and there is no grace with our enforcement. Mayor, I know you said that you'll give grace, but unfortunately I'm proof of that not being true. I was actually met with an officer that told me that I needed to move my camper out front, and I begged for longer than 8 total hours from Joe Smith because he could see my entire tire, axle, and all of the pieces laying in the driveway. And I told him that we didn't have help moving it, and he said, "You have 1 p.m." And I said, "How much is the citation?" And he said, "We will tow it at 1 p.m. I don't think that's giving grace. I think that that can be applied to many areas that we're allowing law enforcement.
Let's stay on point here. Thank you. That doesn't have anything to do with farm animals.
No, that is because when you call, hold on.
Stay on point here.
I am, because I asked if I wouldn't let someone come on my property to request to see my farm animals if someone calls. They said that the officer has precedence. It's the same. That's actually the whole point I'm making. We shouldn't live in hypotheticals and assume I'm going to make my neighbor's life terrible. It doesn't mean I don't deserve to live off my land, even if I'm in the city. We shouldn't be passing ordinances that breed neighborhood complaints. Do we really want to live in that place? If they complain, we have positions that deal with the complaints. We shouldn't limit citizens. I please ask that you vote no. Thank you.
Questions or comments? Thank you. That concludes that discussion. We're moving on to the next ordinance.
First reading for ordinance number 2025-155, an ordinance authorizing the mayor, service safety director, and/or city engineer of the city of Findlay, Ohio, to apply for grant funds and sign any applicable agreements or related documents with the Ohio Department of Transportation for the Han Bright Road and Fostoria Avenue multi-use path 2025 TAP application and declaring an emergency.
Mr. DeArmond.
I don't think it is.
The grant application is due December 1st, so I move to waive our rules and give this its second and third reading tonight.
Second, Mr. Hellman. All those in favor of suspension of the rules, say aye after your name is called. Those opposed, nay.
Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
Mr. Wopser?
Aye.
Mr. Baumann?
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
Ms. Frischie?
Nay.
Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
And Mr. Niemeyer.
Aye.
Rules of council have been suspended, and the clerk will give this ordinance its second and third reading.
Ordinance number 2025-155. Ordinance number 2025-155.
Mr. Wobser.
Make a motion to approve.
Second, Mr. Palmer. Discussion. Ms. Frishy.
So this ordinance, every time that there's a grant, doesn't mean that we need to move forward on it. We've done the Blanchard Street bike path. We've done the Greenway Trail. We've done, is it still the Greenway Trail heading out 568? It might be, but it went with both directions. When they came up with the idea in Ward 1 to put in a bike path on Melrose to connect down to Bright Road, it was stupid. And I don't know how else to say it. We had sidewalks on one side of the street, the county side, the property that's there that's not been developed, we're gonna go put a 10-foot path on for people to get to work. We're also addressing people getting to work with hats and everything else. People aren't gonna use a 10-foot path, and if we already have a sidewalk, and our sidewalks on Bright Road are in good conditions where they're still located. But to say we're going to put in we're going to go ahead and we're going to do, I asked you earlier, it was an 80-20. So about 175,000, because now we have a grant opportunity to extend from Melrose to 236 so we can get out to the reservoir. Like, we have to remember, we have to maintain it. We have to maintain this asphalt and concrete that we put in, and whether people are using it enough or if cars have more of a priority. When we talked about Spring Lake and they're getting told we're going to do a big paving project to get them all finished up, and that could be $1 million or $2 million. I'd rather be focusing all my money over there than adding in nonsense. So I'm a no on it. I think suspending the rules is inappropriate, and that's what I had to say.
Mr. Palmer.
Suspending the rules is appropriate because the deadline is December 1st before our next meeting.
So you're committing.
Thank you. All those in
With no
favor of
knowledge.
the ordinance say aye after name is called. Those opposed, nay.
Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
Mr. Wobser?
Aye.
Mr. Ballman?
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
Ms. Frishy?
Nay.
Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
Mr. Niemeyer.
Aye.
Ordinance is adopted.
First reading for ordinance number 2025-156, an ordinance appropriating funds and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Russell.
I happily make a motion to suspend council statutory rules and give ordinance 2025-156 its second and third reading, and accepting money eventually accepting money given to the fire department from the Findlay Hancock County Community Foundation.
Second, Mr. Baumann. All those in favor of suspension of the rules say aye after name is called. Those opposed, nay.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
Mr. Wobser?
Aye.
Mr. Ballman?
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
Ms. Frishy?
Happily, yes.
Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
Mr. Niemeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
And Mr. Russell.
Aye.
Those of council been suspended, and the clerk will give this its second and third reading.
Ordinance number 2025-156, ordinance number 2025-156.
Mr. Russell.
Move for adoption of ordinance 2025-156.
Second, Mr. Greeno. Discussion. Ms. Frishy.
Hey, Rob, you said that we're also going to be getting another 5,000. We just don't have that coming yet.
No, I did not
police?
say that. I said the police department's getting something as well, but it's not part of this.
Oh, but okay.
All those in favor of the ordinance say aye after your name is called. Those opposed, nay.
Mr. Wobser?
Aye.
Mr. Ballman?
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
Ms. Frishy?
Aye.
Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
Mr. Niemeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
The ordinance is adopted.
First reading for ordinance number 2025-157, an ordinance appropriating funds and declaring an emergency.
Ms. Warnicki.
I would move that we suspend rules on this also for this donation from Tractor Supply to go to the Strick Center.
Second, Mr. Greeno. All those in favor of suspension of the rules, say aye after your name is called. Those opposed, nay.
Mr. Ballman?
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
Ms. Frishy?
Aye.
Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
Mr. Niemeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
And Mr. Wobser?
Aye.
Rules of council have been suspended, and the clerk will give us its second and third reading.
Ordinance number 2025-157. Ordinance number 2025-157.
Mr. DeArmond.
Move to adopt ordinance 2025-157.
Second, Mr. Hellman. Discussion. All those in favor of this ordinance, say aye after your name is called. Those opposed, nay.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
Ms. Frishy?
Aye.
Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
Mr. Niemeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
Mr. Wobser?
Aye.
And Mr. Ballman?
Aye.
The ordinance is adopted.
First reading for ordinance number 2025-158, an ordinance amending one section of codified ordinance number 2025-129, known as the salary ordinance of the city of Findlay, Ohio, and repealing all parts or of ordinances in conflict herewith and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Stashek.
My staff respectfully requests that the readings be waived and this be passed emergency so they can get the programming done. This error is on myself and my office. I did not catch this before we got it to you at your last meeting. But by doing it, nothing changes. There are no changes. It's just the correct languages in the ordinance. And it will let me pay our city engineer and our deputy auditor, and I think they deserve to be paid. So.
Mr. Russell.
Move that council statutory rules be suspended and ordinance 2025-158 be given its second and third reading.
Second, Mr. Greeno. All those in favor of suspension of the rules, say aye after your name is called. Those opposed, nay.
Ms. Frishy?
Aye.
Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
Mr. Niemeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki?
For you, Jeremy. I'll vote aye.
Mr. Wobser?
Aye.
Mr. Ballman?
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
Rules of council have been suspended, and the clerk will give this its second and third reading.
Ordinance number 2025-158. Ordinance number 2025-158.
Mr. Wobser.
Make a motion to approve.
Second, Mr. Hellman. Discussion. Ms. Frishy.
Jim, you said there was no change. I see on the job classification on the back, it was biweekly as of 1/5/25, but on the front, are those not changed even though they show 1/4/26?
Mr. Stashek.
The front is was incorrectly added in the chart. It was like a cut and paste error. So yeah, that's incorrect. What you see on the front, the back is the correct.
Okay.
Thank you. All those in favor of the ordinance, say aye. If your name's called, those opposed, nay.
Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
Mr. Niemeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
Mr. Wobser?
Aye.
Mr. Ballman?
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
Ms. Frishy?
Aye.
Ordinance is adopted.
First reading for ordinance number 2025-159, and ordinance appropriating funds and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Palmer.
This is an annual grant from the Park District, and there is no match attached. Therefore, I move that council's statutory rules be suspended and this ordinance be given its second and third reading.
Second, Mr. DeArmond. All those in favor of the suspension of the rules, say aye. After your name is called, those opposed, nay.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
Mr. Niemeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
Mr. Wobser?
Aye.
Mr. Ballman?
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
Ms. Frishy?
Aye.
Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
Rules of council have been suspended, and the clerk will give this ordinance its second and third reading.
Ordinance 2025-159, ordinance number 2025-159.
Mr. Palmer.
Move for adoption of ordinance number 2025-159.
Second, Mr. Greeno. Discussion. All those in favor of the ordinance, say aye. After your name is called, those opposed, nay.
Mr. Niemeyer? Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
Mr. Wobser?
Aye.
Mr. Ballman?
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
Ms. Frishy?
Aye.
Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
The ordinance is adopted.
First reading for ordinance number 2025-160, and ordinance appropriating funds and appropriating and transferring funds and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Russell.
Per the comments Jeremy made earlier, and to keep this project moving with the expectation that Ohio EPA will give us a 100% reimbursement for this, I move that council statutory rules be suspended and ordinance 2025-160 be given its second and third reading.
Second, Mr. Baumann. All those in favor of suspension of the rules, say aye. After your name is called, those opposed, nay.
Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
Mr. Wobser?
Aye.
Mr. Ballman?
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
Ms. Frishy?
Nay.
Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
And Mr. Niemeyer.
Aye.
Rules of council have been suspended, and the clerk will give this its second and third reading.
Ordinance number 2025-160, ordinance number 2025-160.
Mr. Greeno.
Move for adoption of ordinance number 2025-160.
Second, Mr. Baumann. Discussion. Ms. Frishy.
One last question, Jeremy. On the current contractor that's out there, what was included in his contract? Was it was doing paving but not all the way through? I mean, see, we have the next 1 to 2 years.
Can you clarify?
So they've torn up, they put in the sewer and the sanitary both. Was part of that contract also paving? Because they are paving right now.
I mean, they have to fix their trenches. So
But is that all complete and none of the road paving is included in what they've
the
been doing?
roadway repaving, resurfacing of the roadway is not a sanitary function.
So it wasn't part of that bid?
No,
That's
we have
all
to
I
fit.
needed.
We're fixing the trenches. Like I said earlier, we're fixing the trenches. We cannot repave the roadway with sanitary funds.
That's what I needed.
All those in favor of the ordinance say aye after your name is called. Those opposed, nay.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
Mr. Wobser? Mr. Ballman?
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
Ms. Frishy?
No.
Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
Mr. Niemeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
The ordinance is adopted. 9 to 1.
First reading for ordinance number 2025-161, an emergency ordinance authorizing all actions necessary to support the continuation of a governmental electric aggregation program with opt-out provisions pursuant to section 4928.20 of the Ohio Revised Code, the aggregation program, directing the mayor of the city of Findlay, Ohio to execute an electric supply agreement with Dynegy and declaring an emergency.
Mr. Russell.
Because a response is due on this by November 28th, I move that council statutory rules be suspended and ordinance 2025-161 be given its second and third reading.
Second, Mr. Palmer. All those in favor of suspension of the rules say aye after your name is called. Those opposed, nay.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
Mr. Wobser? Mr. Ballman?
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
Ms. Frishy?
Aye.
Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
Mr. Niemeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Rules of council have been suspended, and the clerk will give this ordinance its second and third reading.
Ordinance number 2025-161. Ordinance number 2025-161.
Mr. DeArmond.
Make a motion to adopt 2025-161.
Second, Mr. Baumann. Discussion. All those in favor of the ordinance say aye after your name is called. Those opposed, nay.
Mr. Wobser?
Aye.
Mr. Ballman?
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
Ms. Frishy?
Aye.
Mr. Greeno?
Aye.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
Mr. Niemeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
The ordinance is adopted.
First reading for ordinance number 2025-162. An ordinance amending Chapter 1100 et sec of the codified ordinances of the city of Findlay, Ohio, known as the zoning code, by rezoning the following described property, referred to as 300 West Front Street rezone, which previously was zoned R3 small lot residential to C3 downtown commercial.
Okay, that concludes our ordinances. Old business. Old unfinished business. Mr. Feigner.
Okay. In preparing for the minutes of the last meeting, it was discovered for the ordinance 2025-133, that was the ordinance that council unanimously passed in regards to control of animal noises within the city limits. It was found that there was a bit of public comment on it, and when the public comment was done, the ordinance went right to a vote. It was a roll call vote. It was unanimous. There was no motion. There was no second. I have scoured Robert's rules on this topic, and there was no answer. I submitted the issue to the Ohio Municipal Attorneys Association members that I have a form with, made my suggestion, and they all agreed. What I'm going to suggest here, or not suggest, I guess, highly suggest the council does, is I am going to ask for a reread of the third reading of ordinance 2025-133. I will then ask if there is a motion to adopt that ordinance. We will address a second, and we will take a vote. I assume I know the outcome of that vote. This will then void the signed November 5th, 2025 ordinance, and the mayor will re-sign one dated tonight. This cures a technicality, and it does not put the issue back on for debate. The public has been protected in that they've had all necessary opportunities to be heard on the matter, and this just cures a fix that needs to be done for record keeping. So I'm going to ask now that the ordinance 2025-133 be reread. Third reading, however you want to do it, you'll do it. Just do it like you normally do. Just call it out as a third reading.
Call the ordinance and then ask for a motion and second.
Third reading of ordinance number 2025-133, an ordinance regulating animal noise and repealing Findlay Municipal Code Section 505.09.
Mr. Russell.
Move for adoption of ordinance 2025-133.
Second, Ms. Warnicki. Discussion.
No discussion.
There is no discussion. I'm sorry.
I wasn't unanimous.
One moment, please.
I was a no.
Per Mr. Feigner, there is no discussion on this matter because it's been discussed before. So all those in favor of the ordinance say aye after name is called. Those opposed, nay.
Mr. Ballman?
Aye.
Mr. DeArmond?
Aye.
Ms. Frishy?
No.
Mr. Greeno?
Nay.
Mr. Hellman?
Aye.
Mr. Niemeyer?
Nay.
Mr. Palmer?
Aye.
Mr. Russell?
Aye.
Ms. Warnicki?
Aye.
And Mr. Wobser?
Nay.
The ordinance is adopted.
I guess if I could have, can I be heard, President? I guess direct this to council, if I could just maybe in the next day or two have a courtesy response on why you voted unanimously last meeting and
We
now we've had
didn't.
change of votes.
It was 5-4 last meeting.
Oh, was it? Okay. My fault.
The ordinance is adopted. Other unfinished or old business.
Yeah, so Brian's here. Yeah.
New business, Mr. Wobser.
I just had a quick question for the law director. Since Councilman Bauman wasn't here, does he get to vote this time around? Does his vote count?
Well, it passed. I'm gonna say no based on the discussions I've had today. This took about 3 hours to resolve. So
Understood.
hopefully
Thank you.
myself and presidents can really catch the motions in the seconds.
Thank you.
Sorry, Brian, you're out. So it's up 5-4. Ordinance is adopted. Other unfinished business, new business. Mayor.
I will try to be speedy, just as a reminder. So they will begin work at the Phase 2 benching for the brownfield remediation starting December 1st. I think I forwarded you guys a couple of weeks ago. We have received notification from the consultant that works for FEMA. They have begun review of our letter of map revision for Phase 1. They have 90 days to tell us if there are any changes that are necessary. If we don't receive any notification in the 90-day period, then it will become effective 6 months from when they received it. So once we get that update, I will continue to communicate, but we are continuing to push all of the flood mitigation items. In that same vein, the Maumee Watershed Conservancy District also had a great call with Norfolk Southern, and I think they've worked through all of the construction agreement issues for the work agreement. So once we have that updated and receive a signed copy, then they should be able to begin bidding out the work and moving forward with that construction on the Norfolk Southern Railroad Bridge. I'm continuing to push on FEMA for execution of the FEMA Flood Hazard Mitigation Grant for the basin and Phase 2 benching. Additionally, I know folks have been receiving comments and seeing things online with the Howard Run ditch maintenance. They are going to be coming through and cleaning that up. So some of the clear cutting that they've been doing along there, it's standard process. They try to do work in the winter time because it's not as much foliage and water in the area. But that is part of the ditch petitioning process for long-term maintenance. I know it may look bad now, it may be irritating now. The county engineer's office, Kyle Parker, is managing that project. So if you have folks reach out to you, please direct them to them. Additionally, I just want to give a shout out and thank the Community Foundation for their support of our safety services. We're so fortunate to have a great team that, put their lives in harm's way every single day. It's been a rough couple of months for them, and I really appreciate them stepping up and supporting those in law enforcement. In that same vein, I want to give a shout out to all of our safety services that responded and helped with the truck fire under the 9975 interchange the other day. Fortunately, because of their quick action and being able to pull the truck out from underneath the bridge, we did not have damage, significant damage to that old bridge deck. Cutting the ribbon, thanks to those who showed up on Monday, was great, I guess, just yesterday. We may not have been able to have that opening had they not been able to take quick action. Additionally, the diverging diamond is working well. People have been out there and getting a positive feedback. So again, appreciate everybody's support in those big projects. Fostoria Avenue, I just want to reiterate that project was talked about a couple of years ago. So we kind of keep a running list of projects that we've discussed and that we see as connectors throughout the community, so that when these grant opportunities come up, we are able to respond speedily and create those different connection points, and we're making great progress on that. And then finally, the City of Findlay team does know how to spell Findlay, Findlay. I know folks have been giving us grief. First of all, we didn't make that sign, but I think after reflecting, at first I thought it was funny, and then I kept reading, and then I was just discouraged. And I just would remind folks that a gentleman that is the one that made the mistake, a contractor that is not from this area, was responsible for one sign. And I have to say that I think he was pretty upset and he embarrassed. But when you're making comments online and criticizing people, those are real people. And I think that it would just be good to remember, like, it may be funny, but some of the comments are really inappropriate and really aren't funny. So, our team works hard every day, and these people are just trying to make good lives. And whether it's making fun of our traffic sign shop, like they don't know what they're doing, they do. They 100% do. And we should be really grateful that we have folks that are that skilled. This poor guy was completely embarrassed, and luckily, nobody knows who it is other than him when he came up to apologize to us. And I told him he owes me a drink from the headaches that we've dealt with all weekend. But that was also, I know I shouldn't spend any more time talking about it, because it has been such a silly waste of our time the last couple of weeks. Like, the people calling, berating our team, being so disrespectful. Like, I don't care if you come after me. Like, that's fine. I'm in this position. But like just consider what you're saying about people, because our team does pay attention to it, and it's just unnecessary. So keep your comments lighthearted. But let's remember that there is decorum, and people are people, and online people do see stuff, and let's just be more considerate with what we say. So we're continuing to chug along. Budgets are moving forward, and I appreciate everybody's good work on this meaty agenda.
Mr. DeArmond.
Quick question on that. You talked about we're starting phase 2 construction on December 1st, but then you said we're still pursuing the FEMA grants, or
just the remediation, the brownfield remediation grant work is starting on December 1st. The benching work itself is not.
Okay.
We're still working on the FEMA
Brownfield's
grant for that.
funded.
So the county commissioners applied and are doing remediation work to help cover a portion of the cost that we would have had to cover otherwise.
All right. We still confident with getting the FEMA funding at this point? Okay. All right. Thank you.
Mr. Hellman.
Yeah, this is for the mayor or some of the staff. I got a question. I'm sure you deal with the railroads probably on a daily basis.
Jeremy.
I'd like to propose that we apply for an award that we have the worst railroad crossings in the state of Ohio, if there's such an animal out there. Does anybody ever talk to them about making some improvements? I'm sure you do.
We first of all, I know people hate me saying this, but people need to call in and report it. We call pretty much weekly to call and report it. The railroads are a very special animal that I'm not going to dig into, but they will call us from unlisted numbers, not give email addresses, and not give callback numbers. So literally, I am fortunate with our Norfolk Southern project that we have some contacts, and I've sent them a number of strongly worded letters on our community's behalf. So we have made a little bit of progress. I think 2nd Street just got redone.
Very
So
nice.
they are well aware, but I would say if you can call them and say, this is a safety hazard, you need to respond, that really does help us. But I would tell you that they are a beast of their own, and I'm not even sure that we have the worst ones. but obviously they're the ones I care about most.
I would agree with you. Thank you for that explanation.
Yeah.
Mr. Russell?
Mayor Mern, may I make a suggestion that Dietz Brothers comes out with railroad track chocolate pretzels and you send them the Norfolk and Southern folks a pound or two.
There you go.
We've given them a lot of money already. They don't get our chocolate.
Paying for their bread.
Yeah, hello. Mayor, maybe you can post on social media the phone number so
Thank
people
you.
can call in. That would be, oh, I haven't seen it. So you just did it?
Mr. Stashak?
Put it back. Okay.
Thank you. Just reminding you, we're scrambling this year. There's a little different time crunch on us with regard to the budget books, but we're shooting to have them to you for your meeting on the 2nd, so you have them a full week before. But it's very important. I want the new folks to know that they're all going to get a budget book as well. Any of you who don't want yours after the budget meeting, please turn them in. We do recycle them. We get requests for them from the community. We do distribute quite a few of those, and I've never done as many of those this year as we've done, as we're in the process of trying to complete. And Denise has told me she does have all the contact information for all the new folks, so I'll be able to make sure we get everybody something.
Mr. Webster?
Just a reminder, that is December 8th, correct? 9th, excuse me. The 9th at 5 o'clock p.m., correct? 4 o'clock. I'm right on top of it. So, and where is it going to be? I don't even mention where I think it's going to be.
We'll have it in here.
So, here, very good.
Mr. Niemeyer?
Jeremy, is there any news on Western Avenue, West Sandusky Railroad project?
Yeah. So we had the poles and the equipment ordered, so we're just waiting on the poles and equipment to show up. Once the poles and equipment show up, then we can get all the foundations in. Been working with the railroad on that, so we have the agreements that are set up for it. So it's literally waiting for equipment right now.
Okay, one bit of business. Make sure you all of you mark your calendars for January 6th. That will be this council's final meeting. We need to have a quorum to approve the December 17th, I guess, or 15th minutes, right? Yeah. And so what we will do, we will open the meeting, right? Approve those minutes. Dan will stay, but the others will remove their name tags and exit peacefully. And the new members will then take their seats at that time, and then they will continue their meeting. So January 6th, we need a quorum. So don't all go out of town, right? All right. Any questions on that? If not, Mr. Niemeyer, I'm sorry, you've got to be there.
Cocktails at 6:15.
There you go. I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Mr. Baumann. Second, Mr. Palmer. All those in favor of adjournment say aye. Aye. Any opposed, nay. We are adjourned.